Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new preview. Chelsea versus Sunderland. We dive right in, and it's a nice time overall. Chelsea have been on some really good form as of late, right? There was that little bit of a blip around the Man United loss and all of that. We remember that, and we did have the concern in that moment of, are Chelsea going back into the dip that we saw last season before it all went really sour? And then towards the back end of last season, we actually managed to salvage something. Were we going to dive into that where it looks like we've managed to pull the handbrake on very early and get ourselves back on track? So now we've actually managed to accumulate a couple of really, really good results. We've seen what our form has looked like from even before the Liverpool game, right? So if I look at our games lately to give you guys a picture, we beat Ajax 5-1. Prior to that, we beat Forest 3-0. Prior to that, we beat Liverpool 2-1. Prior to that, we beat Benfica 1-0. It's 4 wins on the bounce, right? 2 of them Champions League games, 2 of them league games, and league games that I think many of us maybe anticipated and went, Liverpool specifically, Nottingham Forest, realistically, no. But at the end of the day, it was a decent performance overall in that second half after a poor first half. And have we managed to pull ourselves back onto track? I think so. And I'd like to think that this game against Sunderland is going to be another reason to show why Chelsea are now on a little bit of a winning streak. And hopefully we can make it 5 wins out of 5. We should be able to. Sunderland, on the other hand, though, have actually been doing pretty well. And I have to say, fair play to Sunderland overall, who currently sit 7th right now on the same points as Chelsea. Same games, same wins, same draws, same losses. The only thing that we have over them is goal difference. We've scored more. We've conceded more. They've conceded 3 less than us, to be fair. But we have a superior goal difference, which means we are currently sitting 5th. And right now, as it stands, we are 2 points off of second, Manchester City. We're 5 points behind Arsenal, who are first. So it's not a huge margin at the moment. Right now, we are on a point of a season where it's like I said at the start, you begin to see where things might be heading. But that doesn't mean it's done. So this is where I also want to clarify one thing, and I hope you guys are in the same headspace. When Liverpool lost to Manchester United, I was happy. Yes, I was happy. And some might turn and go, no, but Younes, that means that, Arsenal are going to be top then. Yeah, cool. Let them be top. But right now, I'm not looking at Liverpool and how far behind they are from Arsenal, even though right now it's 4 points. Why are we looking at that? And that's a 4-point gap. And we're not looking at us when we're a 5-point gap. People would look and go, no, but with us, there's no chance. We might as well not even look there. Why? It's 8 games. There's 30 games to play. 30. Who knows? Arsenal might fall off, and they might even finish out the top 4. I don't expect that to be. As far as I'm concerned, they're finishing top 2. But no one knows. Anything can happen from now up until Christmas, let alone March or April. If it's mathematically impossible, and we're looking and it's it's a 10-point gap between us and Arsenal, and there's 4 games left, right? And Liverpool are the only ones that are right behind them or in the mix. At that point, different story. At that point, I'm like, okay, look, I need Liverpool to win games. I need Arsenal to drop points because I don't want to live in a world where Arsenal have won the league. Yeah, the one thing that makes me happy that I'm not in London and I've left is the potential of Arsenal winning the title. I don't want to be there. And I won't be there. I will not be there. Yeah? In May, if Arsenal do it, you will not find me. I am not in London. And I'm happy. Yeah? I'll be on a beach here somewhere, I don't know, drinking a mocktail. I'll be happy. Yeah? I'll be happy. But there's nothing done or even close to being done yet. So right now, I'm focusing on us and us only. Why don't we look at ourselves and go, let's push as much as we can? Where's that gone? When we look at what we have right now, yeah, we can do something. It's not expected, and understandably so. And why? Because of what I've just said to start off the video. We were in a little bit of a patch where we're thinking, oh my God, are we heading down? Are we heading south again? Well, we've managed to pull ourselves back. And now we look like we are managing ourselves without even some certain key players. And why? Because we've got other players stepping up to the plate. Estevao is one who has been absolutely sublime. And can I just say about Estevao, before we jump into the rest and we even jump into Sunderland, Estevao right now, I have to give a segment to, because last season prior to that, Cole Palmer was the guy. Cole Palmer was the one that got everyone up on their feet. Cole Palmer was the one that we just looked at and go, please save us, right? Now without Cole Palmer, and he's out for a length of time, and we know that he's a big loss, but we are managing, and we are managing well because other players are stepping up, but Estevao specifically is the new player that is getting everyone out of their seats. And dare I say, I will say this is going to be a bit controversial, but I will say this and I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not discrediting Cole Palmer at all. But the impression that Estevao has had from the moment he's walked in has been higher than Cole Palmer when he started. In the sense of what the player can actually just do on the ball, right? Again, don't take that as discrediting Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is a magician. But it's crazy to see a player like Estevao, who doesn't even play 90 minutes every week, right? When he gets the ball, when he's playing, everyone is in anticipation of, oh my God, what's he going to do? And then he does. And everyone's like, oh my God, this player's mad. Like the reception that he has got at this point is... I don't want to make comparisons, and I'm not. But it reminds me of when Eden Hazard first rocked up. And everyone's like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? What's this? Oh my God, wow, this guy's a baller, man. This is like... With Estevao, the guy is doing it so naturally as well. It's just beautiful to watch. He is an absolute gem of a footballer to just watch, let alone what he can actually produce for you and what he can help get across the line for you, because that's the most important thing, is the output and the results. But on top of that, it's just you can trust him. I look at Estevao right now and I'm like, I can trust you with my eyes closed. I don't even need to know. I don't need to look, and I know you're going to deliver me the goods. I just know. What a player. Now, understandably so, and why Maresca is being cautious, because he's young and because there's so much more to go. And because with time and the correct guidance, Estevao's potential is huge. Huge. But he's already filling in pretty well. So that's the sort of player that we've managed to turn to in the absence of Cole Palmer, and I can't wait to get Cole Palmer back in the team to see how these two are actually going to blend together, because they can coexist big time. So I'm waiting for that day. But right now we've had him, and we've had other players really, really step up and give their slice of the cake, right? Caicedo. I mean, the man is becoming an absolute machine. Week in, week out, the guy's looking unstoppable, right? And even in terms of a blend of other players that are doing their part. Enzo Fernandez, we're now starting to see, is getting back to the levels that people expect of him after that start to the season where he just wasn't good at all. Reece James has longevity and he's really starting to push again. You know, when I say push, the levels that we are familiar of Reece James from past seasons, he's now starting to get back to that level. Long may it continue. Touch wood, nothing happens. Yeah, nothing bad happens. And we got players like, and I think talk of the town right now, Marc Guiu, who no one expected. But you don't look at Marc Guiu and go, mate, can you please save us, please? Can you step up? No, you just don't. You just go, I just hope he has a good game. Well, he has had a couple of really good games so far. Actually, not a couple. 3 good games in a row. Forest, Liverpool and Ajax. He has stepped up and he has made himself known and he has contributed brilliantly. And the last game against Ajax, he got on the score sheet. Long may that continue now that Liam Delap is on the horizon. Unexpectedly and so soon, Liam Delap is right there ready to go. So I'm very happy for that. But Marc Guiu, big opportunity for him tomorrow against Sunderland. He should be starting. Maresca, even alluded to in the press conference and said that in training, he said about a couple of weeks ago, he said he spoke to Marc Guiu and told Marc Guiu that he wasn't happy with how he was training and that it needed to change. And it did. So big up to Marc Guiu. This goes hand in hand with what we heard a few days ago, if you remember, when I told you guys in that news video that Marc Guiu had voluntarily gone to Enzo Maresca asking, what do I need to do better and what should I do and what can you advise? And clearly he's told him, and clearly he stepped up. Marc Guiu, I do want to give credit there, because for a player of his age and of his level, where you don't expect much and there is still quite a lot way to go, I don't necessarily expect a player like him to be able to ask for feedback and in the space of a week, all of a sudden just go, hold my beer, done, and he's doing it. That shows intent from Marc Guiu's end. So I'm very, very happy with Marc Guiu and how he's playing right now. Very. Because he's the sort of guy that I look at the moment and go, you're the third option that we have to call upon if needed. And that's exactly kind of how we've used him. But he stepped up. He is delivering. Fair play to Marc Guiu. I'm very happy with him. Defensively is where we need to get things in order and where there's still some question marks. And I'm glad to say last game, finally, there's been no red cards. And long may that continue now, because I don't want to see it again. I mean, I was all for continuing the streak. The streak is broken, so there's no joy in it now. It's dead. Let it die. No more red cards. Please, everyone get your acts together. And I don't want to see any silly mistakes. We saw against Ajax, for example, Tosin. We saw the penalty that Jorgensen really should have saved, didn't. There's those little things, right? And couple of people were also trying to comment in the comments, telling me why was I being so harsh on Jorgensen, because surely that's what we expect of Sanchez. No. No. You see the foul that Tosin made? That's what I expect of Sanchez from time to time. I expect a blunder of that sort of nature, or giving the ball away. But when it comes to actually just shot stopping and being able to pull off a save, even in a penalty, no, I don't expect Sanchez to make the mistake that Jorgensen made in that penalty. Realistically, you go to your bottom left, right? There is no reason after you've gone bottom left that the ball should be going underneath your arm. I'm sorry, that's just inexcusable. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. For a top level, for a top level club, for a keeper at this level, let's say, that shouldn't happen. You go bottom left, mate, your arm's out, you're saving it. Or you're not reaching it. If it's really in the corner, you don't reach it, different story. I wouldn't have said the thing about Jorgensen, but for it to go under your arm, come on, mate, have a day off. Do you know what I mean? So those little things at the back, I hope we don't see any errors at all from our central defenders. I don't know who's going to play at right back, for example. Left back, we already know. But right back, realistically, it should be Reece James. If it's Gusto, I don't want to see errors from him. But one thing that I do want to mention here that I think going into the Sunderland game, I think needs to be said. The last 2 games, maybe 3, maybe even Forest, we all looked at the lineup at kickoff, or prior to kickoff, and we went, there's a couple of things that don't make sense. And then it did. It actually did. In the end, it did make sense. And then things were managed really well by Maresca. So what I do want to say is, when we see this sort of thing happen, this is where credit needs to be given. And this is where opportunity needs to be handed. So tomorrow, I have to be honest, when I see the lineup, and I see what Maresca chooses, I'm going to be cool with it. I'm going to be cool with it. Okay, if it goes as far as, for example, hang on, what's Jorgensen doing here? I'd be like, okay, what's Jorgensen doing here? But say we saw Gusto at right back and we saw Reece James tucked into midfield, for example, I'm not a fan of it, but I'll be like, okay, cool, let's see what happens. Because the last few games, Maresca's done something questionable at the start and it's actually worked. And then what he's done after that, in order to manage the game, has actually been what we've needed to do in order to manage players, manage load, manage injuries, and get the result. So overall, happy days. I do want to make that clear. Sunderland have been playing really well. And their results have been decent. I'd say decent overall. I mean, they had a bit of a blinding start, but last game against Wolves, they won, beat them 2-0. They lost to Man United 2-0 in a game where Sunderland were playing well. And, up until a certain point, once they conceded, it was kind of a wrap. So not brilliant in that game. But away from home to Nottingham Forest, got the job done 1-0. at home drew 1-1 to Villa, got a draw away from home at Crystal Palace. Their away record overall is okay. I'd say okay. There's been some performances here like Crystal Palace. To get a draw away at Palace isn't easy. Nottingham Forest away, on paper, you'd think it's not easy, but they had Ange. Now under Sean Dyche, different story. Aside from that, they've lost to Burnley, they've lost to United, so they should be here. I don't want to say for the taking, but they should be here for Chelsea to get a result. Right? Realistically, we should be able to get a job done against Sunderland at home. So, bearing that in mind, and the games that we've got coming up now, we've got Sunderland, we've got Wolves in the Cup on Wednesday. We've got Tottenham next weekend, which, by the way, make sure you are subbed to Shootout. Go and watch the Premier League predictions, by the way. We give all of our predictions for all the games, including Chelsea-Sunderland. But next weekend on Shootout, the watch-along for Tottenham versus Chelsea, me and George will be joined at the Belgian Beer Cafe by none other than Paul Cannaville. He will be on the watch along with us. It will be a whole thing where it will be pushed by the Paul Cannaville Foundation. We will be there to talk about the foundation. We will be there to talk about his story. He will be giving us some insight, to me and George on the stream about his experience as a Chelsea player, back how things were, his whole story as a whole as being the first black Chelsea player to play for Chelsea and what he had to endure and what it meant at the end. And just how he looks at Chelsea now and what he expects of the club and what he expects of the team. So make sure you're there on Shootout. Make sure you're not going to want to miss that, especially against Tottenham. Yeah, it's a perfect stream to have a player like Paul Cannaville on because we get to watch, hopefully, us beat Spurs. That would be great. At their gaff. Fingers crossed. So make sure you're there. But coming into this game, Joao Pedro is back. I mean, he was never suspended in the Premier League. He was suspended in the Champions League. So Joao Pedro is available. Delap, as we've already acknowledged, is back for Wolves. He's not back for this one, so don't expect him to be playing. Marc Guiu is being alluded to as if he's going to start, which I'm all for. And you're going to see my 11 very, very shortly. But overall, the players that we are familiar with right now and we've seen play and that are available are the ones that are available. No injuries, no new concerns, no craziness, so everything is good to go. So, without further ado, shall we jump into the team? Yeah? All right. Well, here's my starting 11. Right, I've gone with Sanchez returns in goal, obviously. Now, the centre-back is a really interesting one because now we're starting to get some options. We saw Fofana in midweek. I wouldn't play him. But, I mean, let's be honest. If he plays this one, he's going to get injured again. Yeah, there was one point in that Ajax game where we were like, hang on, is he limping again? But I'd leave him out for this. He's on the bench, cool. Put him on the bench, I wouldn't play him. Chalobah is available. Tosin is available. Josh Achiampong is available. They're available. Personally, I wouldn't mind having a little blend of youth and experience, for that matter. You get what I mean. And the Unk. Yeah, not to say Tosin is the most valid experience. He's not, but that Unk, right? A nice little blend of the two, I think, will do us nicely against Sunderland. So I would go with Josh because Josh has actually been, when he's been playing really well, and I do want to try and help him continue that form. I wouldn't just now park him because he didn't play against Ajax or he didn't start against Ajax. I wouldn't just park him and just, okay, you're back to being the academy guy. No, he played well in those games against Forest and Liverpool. I would want him to continue that form and see where it can go. So Josh plays for me, and if we have to call upon Chalobah, we can. So for me, him and Tosin at the back, Reece James at right back, please. And Cucurella at left back. Cucurella got a very much needed rest, right, in midweek, and he's good to go surely. So for me, Cucurella starts, Reece James at right back. Centre mid, cool, back to type. Caicedo's ready to go. He got taken off just as the second half started against Ajax, which means he got a little bit of rest. Fantastic. So he can start. Enzo, similar situation. He got rested, so he's good to go too. You see how things have been managed well? Beautiful. Means that we have players now a little bit more fresh. This is where it gets interesting. It's that front line because now we're starting to see options pop up. In that game against Ajax, Gittins played really well, right? We still want to see what Garnacho can do. Pedro Neto basically got rested. Estevao is killing it. Joao Pedro returns and got arrested. Marc Guiu is an option up top. But what are we going to do? Well, One thing we've established that I think we need to run with for this game is Marc Guiu is ready to start. He starts. So because he starts, put Joao Pedro in his ideal position, which is the number 10. Now, Maresca alluded to in future, and he tested this against Ajax, and it worked, to be fair, even though Ajax were dead and buried. But Estevao playing a little bit more central. He sees a similar pathway for Estevao like we saw for Cole Palmer, where he started as a winger and then eventually tucked in. Estevao, he sees the same thing happening here. But for me, right now, cool. Joao Pedro is here though. Joao Pedro seems comfortable when there's another 9 on the pitch, and that seems to liberate him a little bit. So let's play Joao Pedro in the 10. It's Sunderland. We should be on the front foot. Why not? Play Joao Pedro in the 10. Estevao starts on that right-hand side, please. The left-hand side is the debate. But for me, Pedro Neto's got to play because there's a lot of things even off the ball. We saw on the ball. We saw him score. We saw him assist the last time he played. That was fantastic. But for me, Pedro Neto starts. And because Estevao has to play on the right-hand side, I would play Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. And to be fair, you can even interchange the two if you really want to. We are familiar to seeing Estevao tuck over to the left if needed. So for me, Estevao on the right, Pedro Neto on the left, Joao Pedro in that middle number 10 role, and Marc Guiu has a chance to play up front. And hopefully Marc Guiu gets on the score sheet, and hopefully because of Marc Guiu we see a good performance from Joao Pedro, and because of them two, hopefully we see Pedro Neto and Estevao both playing into space and having really good games. For me, that's a very well-balanced front four. So, let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your starting 11? Let me know down below. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, this is my starting 11 as we jump into the predictions. Now, what did I say on shootout? Did I say 3-1? I think I said 3-1. Because Sunderland have been playing well, and maybe I look at them and I go, okay, you might score, right? I'm going to stick. I thought, should I change it? No, I'm going to stick. I'm going to go Chelsea 3, Sunderland 1. That's my prediction. Similar to Ajax. We went 2-0 up, concede, and then go on a blitz. I think something similar to Sunderland here. We probably go 1-0 up, 2-0 up, okay, concede, slip up a bit, get the third, happy days. Kill off the game, thank you very much, Bob's your uncle. Or maybe even 3-0 and then we concede. But I expect us to concede 1. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get a clean sheet and hopefully that's fantastic and we're good to go. But for me, I'm going 3-1. What's your prediction? Let me know down below. Much appreciated. Be here tomorrow, like I've said, for the full-time review. After the game, I will be dropping the review on here, so make sure you guys are here. But make sure you guys are on Shootout for the Chelsea-Sunderland watch-along, as me and George will be covering that together. And make sure you're here on make sure you're on Shootout as well for all the other watch-alongs that are going to come your way if you guys hit a certain amount of likes on the Premier League predictions that I've already linked you to on Shootout. Head over there, like the video. If we get 2,000, you're going to get a marathon. How's that? I'll see you there. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe, notification bell on. Catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoy. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. And peace.